object hierarchy. So how we find each object? So here, so to develop script discrete programming, what we have to use? We have to use object SPI, because this discrete programming all about what? All about object properties and what? Well, so discrete program describe object. So we have to find out object properties and they are what? Then we can use that properties and value, describe that object and identify that object. So skip means what? At the end we have to identify each object. So what is our first object? So this is we are doing for login. What is our first object? Username. So we have to identify this username without recording. Before what we do? Develop our skip what? Recording mode. That means that object was in where? Object repository. Then is identified. Now we are avoiding object repository. We are not recording. We are not adding any object where? Object repository. So that's why object repository is what? Empty. Do you have any object here? No. Still we want to identify this object as part of alternative approach. It's called discrete program. We'll identify this object. We want to enter what? JoJo. We using what? Discrete program. So when it's come to discrete programming, all about what? Properties and value. So you have to remember that's two things. So discrete programming means properties and value, nothing else. And to get that properties and value, we have to use object SPI. So that is our one topic is called object SPI. So we have to use object SPI to develop our script as part of discrete programming. So without object SPI, it's tough to find the properties and value. So that's why object SPI is a built-in tools with UFT. So this is called UFT built-in tools. Right? Object SPI, you see? So this is what? Object SPI. So object SPI will help you to find property. So what is our target object? Username. You see, I'm just hand sign. Where I am going? Username. Target object is username. I just click that one. So make sure this is what? Username. And this is called object hierarchy. You see, this is what? Browser. Then dot what? Page. We ignore frame and web table for now. So our focus is what? Browser, page and object. So you see in our class document what we did. So that is our main focus. So we will focus on what? Browser, then what? Page, then object. So this is our object type, you see. So that is, our focus is browser, page and object. We will not focus anything else. Okay. So that's why, I just object, our focus is what? Browser, then what? Page, then what?
Object.
Wait, object. Okay. Now if we say browser, we can highlight anything. So this is, you see left side is what? Properties? Name. And right side is what? Value. So if you highlight browser, so class name is the one properties name. So in short, it's called mid class. You see, I write down one. So class name is called what? Mid class. When we write down mid class. Mid class actually the class name. So in DBScript it's called mid class. But UFT in tools is the class name. But actually this is what? Mid class. So class name is what? Browser. If it is the page, what is the class name? Page. If it is web edit, what is the class name? Usually mid class or class name actually is same. Whatever is there is same. Browser is what? Browser. Page is what? Page. So that is called, this is called global properties, like common properties. For any object, there is always class name. Actually the mid class. So browser, what is the mid class? Browser. Page, what is the mid class? Web edit, what is the mid class? That's easy. So that is the first object, properties. Okay. Now is, if you say, so this is our target, okay, web edit. If you go, this is different properties name, you see left side, like name, what is the property value? You see row, everything. Type, text, type is the properties, value is what? Width 110, character 14. Text part, this is a lot of properties, okay. So we will discuss more later. That for now. So for now, what we got to identify web edit, what we need browser. So browser called dot page. So this browser and page is called global object. Just any object. If I want to go any object, what I need? Like for example, this page. If I enter password, what I need? Browser and page. I want to click login, what I need? Browser page. I want to click sign up, what I need?
Browser.
So that's why browser and page is called global object. Global means what? This is common. So any object, if you want to identify or go, you need what? Browser page. So that's why browser and page is your global object. Okay. Now our first line is what? Enter. Enter what? Enter. Okay. So first object is what? Browser. Then something dot page. So let's deal with browser. To identify browser, I need to pass the properties. Okay. So properties, first thing is name. So which properties I want? I want to, for browser and page, it's called common properties. Common properties is called mid class. So what is the browser mid class? So equal. So usually how we write down equal? This is equal. But in VBScript, this style is colon equal. That's the style. If you write in VBScript, it's not direct equal. You have to add what? Colon. Then equal. That's the coding style, nothing else. Usually there's equal is the standard, but in VB, this is the language. That's why you have to follow the style. Okay. So what is the mid class? So our first object is a browser. What is the mid class? Class name is what?
Browser.
So this is value. So that's why mid class is what? Browser. So browser identify done. Only one property is enough to identify the browser. Okay. It's clear or not? So mid class is one property and corresponding value is what? Browser. Because object is saying that. You see the object is there. You see what is the class name? So class name in VBScript we are saying as a what? Mid class, nothing else. It is class name equal what? Mid class. Okay, dot, then what? Yes. Here is same. Mid class equal what? Page. Okay. So browser property is what? This property is after equal is value. What is the property's name? And value. If I need to pass more properties, what I'll do? I'll use comma. Let's say only mid class not enough. I can pass another properties. I can put comma, again same style, double quotation, properties name and value, equal value. So at a time you can pass multiple properties. Yeah, I can use other properties also. So, but since browser and page is a global object, one property is enough to identify browser and page. We can pass more, later we can see. But for now, then what? Dot what? What type of object this is? Dot what? Then again, mid class. What is the mid class? So what is the web edit mid class? This is what? Web edit. What is the mid class? Yeah, value is case sensitive. Okay, now I am passing how many properties? One. Now question is one is enough? Because I have multiple web edit. If I say whoever it means what? How many? 4, 5, 10. So whoever it means is not identifying username. So I need to pass what? More than one property to uniquely identify username. So this is not enough. This is enough. This is enough. So if I say this one, how many objects it will highlight? 7 or 8. Now I need another properties. So which properties I need? So that is what, okay. Go there. I need to find what is the unique properties. So this is so these all properties name and value I can also copy in Notepad. Then often you see what is it? So if you click this one, that is means copy. Control C. If you click this one, it's work as a keyboard Control C. And I'll paste where? I'll open one blank Notepad. Control V or right click paste. I'll do what? Paste. This is all properties. So whatever you see in Object Spy, whatever you see here, everything is going Notepad. Now you can analyze it. What is the big class?
Class.
This is one properties, Y properties, X properties. This is one property. This is another properties. This is another property. This is property. Everything is property. So left side all properties. So you see this is actually middle. Colon equal is what? In middle. Between properties and value. So left side is what?
Property.
So HTML ID, what's the value? Empty. HTML ID, what is the value? Empty. Inner text, what is the value? This is what is the value? Max length, what is the value? So left side is the properties and right side is the value. So you see username. Left side is what? Username is the properties. And what is the value? So name is a property. So I will use what? This is the complete thing I will copy. Copy from here. I will paste what? So this is one properties. Comma, and this is what? If I think I need more, comma, I will put another property. Because you have more options, not like one. How many properties you have? At least 20 properties over there. So out of 20, you have to find which is more unique. Now question, how will you find? What is the easiest way? It could be name, it could be text, it could be inner text, lot of properties. Now question, what is the easiest way to find?
Which property of the unique name and value?
Yes, which is unique. First which is unique. Now question, what is the easiest way to find the unique? You have to analyze this. Okay. All those, only this one giving you more related, what is called?
More specific.
Logical name actually. My target to find what? Username. Am I right or wrong? What is my target? Identify username. Who is giving more appropriate name property? Am I right or wrong?
What is this one? Next one, outer HTML with how many things?
Yeah, outer is giving you the complete outer.
The whole thing is not.
You can use it. If you use, you have to use complete thing, but this is very long. So actually name property is giving you more accurate information, because my target to find what? Username. I will target what? Name property. I will not target HTML ID. HTML ID is what? If you use HTML ID, your answer will be 0. Nothing is there. If you use HTML tag, input is there, but this is not meaningful. Is it meaningful?
No.
So username is a meaningful. So this is a meaningful value, and this value giving you which property?
Name property.
So you have to use this one. This is the one way to analyze this. Other way you have to shortcut also. Go to the object identification. So what is the target object? Web edit. Am I right or wrong? Web edit. Which is the mandatory properties? Name property is what? Equal tag, name and type. Focus on this thing. Forget about all other. So because in here how many properties? 20 or 30 properties. So you don't have that much time to go and check. So better to focus on what? Only this thing. Out of three, which is giving you more appropriate? Take that one. So use them. Is no name not enough add HTML tag. Not enough add type. So that's the maximum we can do.
That's easy to
That's
choose.
easy. So who will care all those? Just
Right.
care all your memory over. Just everyone has a shortcut. Okay. But if you do the descriptive programming 5 times or 10 times, you will memorize everything. No need to go anywhere. You know which you have to use. Okay. You will be expert within 10 times. If you do the 10 times, you will forget everything. All the shortcuts. Because you yourself now is shortcut. So you yourself now will be shortcut. Okay? So we are using how many properties here?
2.
Two properties. One is what?
One
Plus
username,
and
one
one is what?
class.
Yeah. Okay, then dot what? Then dot what? What after dot? So what you do? So browser page then dot what? Dot say. Then what you want to say? Say what? Okay. So I am identifying browser using Miklas browser, then page, Miklas page, then my target object, what type of object? Web edit. I am identifying web edit using Miklas plus name properties, and then dot set what I am setting value. Jojo. Am I using object repository? No. Now let's run and let's see are I able to enter Jojo or not. Okay. So I can run everything, or you can run from what? Right click, run from what? But then another issue we'll discuss later. Okay, run from what? So entering what? Successfully what? So do you need any record? So anything, any drag and drop? Nothing. So this is pure programming. What you are using object sprite to find the properties and value to identify that object. So in the interview also they ask, okay, do you have experience using basic programming? Yes. So how did you do? How do you develop your skill using basic programming? What will be the answer? Yes, I use property and value. I took the help of object sprite. This is your keyword. Because this you are not memorizing. Not all applications will be same value. So how do you know? Only object sprite will give you that information. So you have to use that keyword. Okay, I use object sprite to find out properties and value. I use that properties and value and I develop my skill. That's your answer. So that is your descriptive program. Okay. So why you are using? Because this is more dynamic. Okay. More flexibility. No need to depend on object repository, and it will be definitely faster. Okay. So this is two advantages. No need to rely on object repository. More dynamic and faster. So now question, why it is faster?
Because it don't go with object to find out the object. As well as faster.
Because actually we are cutting one layer. So when you identify one object, what do you do? What is the regular method to identify object using UFT? So it opens the application, it tries to identify username, then go back to object repository, brain, and check that name exists in object repository, and then matching all the properties in object repository, then set Jojo. So let's say lots of steps. And here how many steps? Only one step. The opening application and going this line, that's it. So this line itself brain, am I right or wrong? This line itself brain, because here we are passing that property. Because object repository also holding that property. Now this line is holding the same thing, am I right or wrong? So before what we did, object repository holding those properties. Now this line is holding that properties. So that's why we are skipping one layer. So the brain layer we are skipping. So that's why it's more faster. It's clear? Or no? So any question, because you have to understand only one line. So if you know one line, you can create 20 line, you can create 50 line. And you say, okay, I'm confused this line, so you will be confused 50 times. So we have to confuse one line or 50 line. So if you confuse one line and then multiply with 50, so how many times you confuse? 50 times. So you have any question you can ask here. So same style you have to follow. So only change would be what? If it is the image, only change would be what?